Plus Sports special on a Saturday. If you find out what happens behind the scenes, sometimes it's actually a house of pain, but sometimes it's just simply hilarious. Really. Wow.
A house of cards waiting to fall for if just one thing is out of place.
And they're always pinching you, either with a needle or with, it's either K or it's Debola or it's Mayowa. Somebody is pinching you.
Somebody, always.
Why always you?
I'm Balotelli.
Balotelli. Well, let's look at the AFCON round of 16. Everybody that I know is picking the Super Eagles for possibility of winning this competition because of the way they are playing. Even the Ghanaians who crashed out started supporting Nigeria. The Cameroonians are actually, half of them are supporting Nigerians, you know. And so maybe for once we actually have a chance.
We're the port in all storms, the Nigerian national team. I mean, we're still the only powerhouse of old, of regular days, that is still in the competition with a good, solid chance of winning it. And even in times past, this has been the normal thing to do. If your team was out, if you were Ghanaian, Cameroonian, Côte d'Ivoire, if your team was out or on the verge of being out or wasn't playing to the expectations, you throw your lot in with the Nigerians, the Super Eagles, because you could expect that.
They will do well, though.
Yeah, they will do well.
But in the past, even if we don't win, we don't do very badly.
We don't do very badly.
At least second, third.
Yes, yes.
Francis Indem will give us heads up now. Nigeria will take on Tunisia in the next, the round of 16. And let's look at Tunisia first. North African team, good structure. They used to play very good football, and I insist, used to play very good football. The North Africans, at this point, are not doing very well. Algeria's crashed out. Egypt is barely in the game. Tunisia barely got here, really.
Well, I mean, if we talk about where the competition has come so far for this particular tournament, I think it's par for the course for a lot of these guys that are out. The North Africans, I don't think they've had, I mean, maybe it's the fact that COVID-19, maybe the lockdown for a long time has shifted the dynamic, the powers. Also, you have to credit that the West African and certainly the South African teams, have always had a good response against the North Africans. But I think this time around, the West African teams and even the rest of the East African teams are proving capable of navigating around the likes of the North Africans. And this is a good tournament for a lot of the smaller teams like Cape Verde, Mauritania. They're doing very well.
We've got Cameroon against Cape Verde.
Yes.
And host nation playing very good football. I don't think.
But they might lose to Cape Verde.
I don't see that happening.
We didn't see Nigeria struggling against Cape Verde in the qualifiers, but we did. We've seen what Cape Verde have done in this particular tournament. They're proving as though they've been here for years.
True that.
Even the likes of the Sierra Leoneans are doing moderately well. The Mauritania, maybe they're not beating any big boys, but they are still in it. And they could still potentially surprise a lot of teams. So I wouldn't count Cape Verde out against Cameroon. And I think part of the reason why half of the Cameroonians are supporting Nigeria is because they feel that it is very easy for Cameroon to get knocked out. The way Ghana are out, the way Algeria are out. It could easily happen. And even Egypt are not safe. Egypt could fall out this particular round.
True that.
So, at the end of the day, and I said this to Victor last time, by quarterfinals, if Nigeria is still in it, we're likely going to win it.
Now, in war, all is fair. Even when you use your teeth, it's fair. But in war, don't be scared of the giants, the big boys who are coming to the party. Be scared of the minnows, the small ones. We're looking at a team like the Comoros. Where did they come from? Who is Comoros?
I mean,
wow.
You know, they say you lie in your bed as you make it. And I think once it became the ambition of the nation to reach the Nations Cup, to establish themselves as regular participants.
I don't think they've come to win.
No, obviously
but they've
not.
come to make headlines.
Yes, but they've had, this is why I feel that it's worrisome for how the level that Nigeria is doing, because we have the talent. The template for how to do things is already there.
True.
The Germans are doing it. They're churning out talent.
The French are doing it.
The French are doing
Though
it.
they are not French,
the English are doing it.
Yeah.
They're churning out talent. And gone are the days of English football being route one. Hit the ball from the back to the big striker up front.
And let's Paul Gascoigne do the running, or David Beckham in the midfield.
Now in the Premier League, technique is just as important as it is in Spain, in Germany.
Yeah.
So we see how all these teams, all these countries are doing. And while we are African and no one expects us to compete with the Europeans who have been doing this for longer than us, when there's already a template and when there's the resources are there and the will is there, you can keep ahead of the queue.
Now let's move forward a little. Some football stakeholders in Nigeria have expressed optimism as the draw for the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifier playoffs holds today. The draw will take place in Douala, Cameroon. The Super Eagles will know if World Cup playoff falls when the draws take place. Now, there are still 10 teams in contention following the second round of the 2022 World Cup qualification. The 10 qualified teams will be divided into 2 levels based on the official FIFA ranking published in November 2021. The 5 highest ranked teams will play against the 5 least ranked teams, with the first leg to be played at the home of the lower ranked teams. This means Nigeria could face strong opposition like Egypt, Cameroon, Ghana, Mali, and DR Congo to book a place in Qatar. Now, Bukayo, without any fear and with due respect, with what Eguavoin is doing with the team, do we still fear any foes, really?
We should. Because
Mali?
Because when the new coach comes in, it will be a whole different
Yes,
mindset.
That's talk for another day. Maybe for Monday. That's talk for another day. Is the new coach coming in? Amaju is beginning to change him out. You know him. And you see, Amaju in his normal self would not tell the guy to leave. He will continually tell the guy to come for interview in the glass house in Abuja, and nobody will show up. He will now get angry and go back home. That's Nigerian style, unfortunately. But well, like you said, the new guy, let's assume he's going to come in. Okay?
You know, the thing is, I would be willing to support the new guy right now. I haven't seen any work. I haven't seen his work on the national team just yet. But the truth is, if you assume that the Nigerian ambition goes beyond doing very well at the Nations Cup, doing very well on the African tournament, then sure, maybe you want a pedigree of a manager that has done it on the world stage and is more familiar with European style of football so that he can raise our games to that level. Granted, that could be the ambition. That could be the reason. But I doubt that's the ambition. I don't think we have set an agenda to finish in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. So,
I don't think so.
So if that's not the ambition, if the point is just the same old generic, let's do well, then Eguavoin is capable of carrying this team and carrying us as far. Because I think at this point, Nigerians will support Nigerian national team, the Super Eagles, no matter how far we get. As long as we get through the group stages with some aplomb, even if we don't get beyond the final 16, even if we don't get to the quarters, the semis, and let alone the finals, I think the Nigerian supporters will relish that we played another good World Cup and we did it with some dignity and self-respect.
Okay, we had visuals for Super Eagles training in Garua, but okay. But some good news for feminists this morning. Rwanda referee Salima Mukuzanga, who became the first woman to officiate an African Cup of Nations match when she took charge of the Zimbabwe versus Guinea match this week, said she and her female colleagues earned and deserved their place as match officials at the highest level. Mukusanga also said it was an honor and a privilege to have refereed a game during the Confederation of African Football's most important tournament, paving the way for more African women referees. She says it's not a favor, and we can never be men, yeah, but we can do things on their level too, and that we deserve to be here is on merit. Nobody is doing us favors because we're actually women. I got here on merit.
You know, as appreciative as I am that she did the job, she wasn't there because of some affirmative action hire. She's capable, she's talented.
And you need to have watched that match, which was fantastic.
What I am hoping going forward is that we will not, once these various glass ceilings are broken, we will stop highlighting the fact that these are women, that what they're doing is extraordinary because they're women.
True.
Because pointing it out, it just reflects that this is not the status quo, that it's an anomaly, and that's not what we want. That's not the message we want to send. We want to say these are just as capable, and we don't want to be counting the first, second, third women as though we're separating them from men, because obviously there are no men getting any recognition for being good at being referees.
Well, this part of the show, somebody said we're broadcasters. Apart from the fact that we have to be at work on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day, on public holidays and weekends, it's a tough job that we do. We know, but somebody's got to do it. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, it's us. You know what? He also gets to a part where you get emotional, and you still have to keep a smile on your face. This gets very emotional for me. We know him as the Black Mamba. 16 years ago today, Kobe Bryant stunned the world of basketball, dropping a huge 81 points against the Toronto Raptors. The Los Angeles Lakers star almost single-handedly guided his side to a 122-104 victory as his flawless second-half display saw him score the entire Raptors team 55-41, a game that the Staples Center has never seen before. Kobe produced the second highest individual total of all time, behind only Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game over the New York Knicks in 1962. With a lot of emotions, the Black Mamba, someone said he was too good to have lived long. The Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
You know, the thing is,
he did it, this match we just watched now was today, 16 years ago.
You know, it's probably never going to happen because of how fast the game is now and how competitive it is now, that someone will break the Wilt Chamberlain 100-point record. But it says a lot at the level at that time and how difficult it was to do what Kobe did, scoring 81 points. Even the great Michael Jordan never
do that.
Never came close to scoring that many points in a single game. We can go back and forth about who's better for what reasons we choose them. But Kobe Bryant stands in his own lane as a great, as a giant. And he was doing things that we're praising, we're hyping Steph Curry is doing now.
Yeah.
He was scoring half-court shots on a regular basis, maybe not to the same regularity as Steph Curry now is, but I think there will be a generation going forward that will only remember Kobe's games, Kobe's highlights. They will not remember the Wilt Chamberlain games. They will not remember the Michael Jordan's greatest moments.
True that.
Kobe Bryant has inspired a whole generation, and for a time, everyone was going MJ, lean back, the fadeaway MJ move. Now, there are people who literally only say, when they make a shot, when they're playing basketball, they scream, Kobe.
Exactly.
And that's what Kobe...
He's now like an SI unit for scoring a fantastic basketball points. Kobe Bryant, he's nicknamed the Black Mamba, died in a helicopter crash with his daughter and some teammates.
And I hope we never forget that we didn't lose just a legend. A father and a mother lost a
True
daughter that
yeah.
day. And it's unfortunate that we lost a legend, but it's even more unfortunate that we lost such a child because she was into basketball
An aspiring
as well,
basketball player,
as
yeah.
well, and she was learning a lot from her father. And if she had lived, who knows what she would have accomplished in female basketball, knowing that she was carrying the legacy of her father going forward.
May everyone in that helicopter crash, may their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. In the Australian Open, world number 2 Arina Sabalenka showed her fighting qualities again early this morning. The Belarusian came back from a set down to defeat Marketa Vandorozova 4-6, 6-3, 6-1 and move into the fourth round of the Australian Open. Sabalenka surrendered the opening set for the third match in a row, overcoming early serving issues in pawn the check into submission. Earlier, American Daniel Collins came back from a set down to beat Denmark's Clara Tansen and set up a clash with Belgian Elsie Mortens, while France's Alice Cornet beat Slovenia's Tamara Sidensek to book a spot in the next round against Romanian Simona Halep. For Sabalenka, we could speak for Cornet, we can speak for a few other people, but we actually thought she made the headlines with a mental issue case and blah, 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 and we saw her coming back to the Australian Open and we expected her at least make a headline like once or twice. She didn't make any headline. Osaka, Naomi, let's watch her game. She crashed out, we'll come back. I'm not surprised. I didn't expect Osaka to come out and say anything in that interview. She's complaining about mental health issues in the past. I don't see it going down like this. I didn't see this coming. But is this the end of Naomi Osaka?
Of course not. Of course not. But as long as we keep referring to her as the girl who cried mental health issues, then of course it only piles up more pressure. And we shouldn't have any expectations of her, not when she's trying to build herself up. Because unfortunately, the thing we do as sports journalists, as fans, is that once a winner wins, we come to expect endless winning streak. And that's not how it goes. She looked lethargic in that game, and who knows whether she's mentally there.
Or she's not there, she's not home. Nobody's home.
Or if it's just physical tiredness, not mental. We need to step back from talking about the mental health side of her game and focus on...
But I want to believe that Kay is telling me I shouldn't laugh about it. It's not funny, I know. But the truth be said, if she was at home with herself, in tune with herself, that's why she came here. If she wasn't good enough to go yet, she wouldn't be here in the first place.
Sometimes you have to push through the difficult moments. That's how you get through. You don't get over something, you get through it sometimes. And as an athlete, you know that every tournament you miss, every year you're out of contention, it's not just your rankings you have to worry about, it's how well you're still able to keep up with your contemporaries. And Naomi Osaka there's a lot expected of Naomi Osaka as a future great, as perhaps the heir to the Serena Williams, to the Williams sisters. But that doesn't need to be the only reason why we care about her. If her mental health is something that is giving her issues, we should care about it without harping on about it every time she loses, drops a set, and fails to go to the next round. Sometimes people are dealing with stuff that goes beyond just mental health, family stuff, physical tiredness. Sometimes we just have to give these athletes the room and space to find their rhythm again.
Now, we might be leaving you with this, or we will be leaving you with this on the show today. Maybe it's age. Maybe it's just me. Rafael Nadal never drops the first set in a major competition. Yes, second, maybe third sometimes. But first set, he goes with you all the way. He dropped the first set in his last match. He won eventually, but he dropped the first set. And it's awkward for Nadal to drop his first set.
Well, I mean, like you said, yes, it's irregular for Nadal to drop. Even the Djokovic could drop a first set. It's not usually how it goes, but usually it's possible to expect that he might drop a first set, but not with Nadal. Nadal dropping the first set might be alarm bells ringing, but let's not forget, this is his first major title.
In a long while.
In a long while that he's competing in. And he feels this is the time to step back up and try again with it for a major. And I think we don't have to light the torches of destruction just yet. We don't have to worry that alarm bells are ringing just yet. Let's see how he does in the next, because a win is still a win. It doesn't matter how much possession you have in the match.
He has won.
It doesn't matter whether you drop your first set. It doesn't matter if you, as the captain of the team, you only manage to drop 10 points. If your team wins, if you win, a win is a win.
It's all 3 points.
It's all 3 points.
Now, 6th seed Rafael Nadal, I'll leave you with this. 6th seed Rafael Nadal dropped his first set at this year's Australian Open, but still powered through to the third round with the 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 defeats of Khachanov. Thank you, Mikhail.
Always.
Thank you very much, Francis Indem. Thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much, Peter, who is in the house of power downstairs. Thank you, guys. Join us same time next week, Plus Sports Special on Plus TV Africa. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.